Hello everyone. I don't have camera. I did have the last time I made this video, but yeah, after reviewing my footage for the video, I didn't really like it, and I just felt this needed to be remade. So basically, I have had one of the worst years of my life. I have said that many times. 2025 has been absolutely horrible, and I've genuinely hated it. There's been a lot of good points, but very few compared to the bad points. The things that have happened to me this year are outrageous. The way I've been treated has been horrible by so many people, and it's just ridiculous the way things have transpired. I'm not getting into detail though, because every single time I do, I get slated for it and I get hurt. And it literally is ridiculous, and they don't deserve my attention, the people who have done what they've done to me. But yeah, so my way of coping has always been through my music, through my songs, and I have been doing this for like well over 10 years. Like, it's not a new thing. Like, whenever I'm upset, whenever I'm feeling a certain way, I always take to making a song. And I don't necessarily write the song and use people's names, because that is cruel. I base it around general things. So for instance, like, a few of my songs have definitely been slated this year because people have taken offence to them, which I kind of said in the chat that, people will take offence to it, and it's like, it's petty and it's stupid considering the fact it could relate to anybody about anything. But no, they take it as it's meant for them. It's just narcissistic behaviour. It's just petty, as I said before, and it's just upsetting. As I've said, I'm allowed to be hurt. I'm allowed to express myself in order to cope, but people make me feel like I'm not allowed to, which is outrageous. And I say to anybody in a similar situation to me or anything like that, don't be afraid to express yourself. Don't be afraid to let people know the truth, and don't be afraid to speak up. I still feel I can't. I genuinely still feel trapped, but slowly but surely we're somewhat getting there. And it's really upsetting. It really is. But I'm not going to dwell on it just now. I just want to talk about the songs. So as you can tell by the looks of these songs, a lot of them are very depressing. There isn't a whole lot of positive songs from this year. And as I say, this is a video, but this is a static image. Like, I'm struggling to record things properly, hence why I've not made a whole lot of variety of things right now. But yeah, so 12 songs as per usual. I did this for 2024, so I've decided to do it for 2025 now. But yeah, if you look at my songs, you can tell outright that I've been going through a lot this year. And we started the year off with Leaving. Now, Leaving is actually my most popular song of the year. It's got quite a few views, and I think it had a like. It's now got a dislike though, because, again, sad, pettiness and all that sorts. But yeah, so Leaving was about me transitioning from a role to a new role, and at one point in my life it was a role I really wanted, but I was a bit more unsure this time, so I was quite in two mindsets about it, hence Leaving came about. And it was like, I think there's a line in it where I'm like, this is something I wanted, but now I'm not sure, or something. It was something along those lines. But yeah, so I put Leaving in the third bar in B, and the order is not really necessarily right, I don't think. Yeah, so Leaving is a B tier song. It's relatively good for what it is, but it's not sensational by any means. Next is February, you idiot. I think February was Position. Now, Position was, it still kind of feels like it's this way about things where I am like being torn in so many different directions, and I'm like, what's the right choice, what's the wrong choice, or how do I do this, how do I do that? I'm just a little bit concerned about everything, so I'm like, why am I in this position? Feels like every day is a mission and all other sorts. Again, I do prefer this to Leaving and the other songs down there. They're both in B tier now. I think that's about right. So March. Now March was definitely the worst month. Well, no, I say that. It was the beginning of the worst time ever. So from March onwards, I was in the worst state possible. I don't know what my content was like around about that time, but most of the time it was scheduled anyways. Like I wasn't. And obviously I had my update videos, but they have kind of gone away just now until I feel more comfortable and confident in order to do them again. But yeah, so March was the beginning of hell. I absolutely hated March. It was dreadful in every way possible. Actually, now that I think about this, I think overbearing came before leaving. So overbearing was February. Yeah, overbearing. No, overbearing was February. Yeah. So overbearing. I'll talk about now. Overbearing, it speaks for itself. I felt a lot of the time that I was overstepping things. I was asking too much, or I was doing too much. I was overbearing, but it was just me. And if you know me fair well enough, you know that I have Asperger's, and a lot of times people can become very invested in things, and people can become overzealous and really into stuff, so they can become a little bit overbearing. But it's not necessarily their fault, that's just the way they are. And it's really sad when people know this about you, but they treat you really badly. Anyways, like, again, moving off that, overbearing. So overbearing was recorded when I was away in Dornoch, and luckily enough there was snow around, and I just felt like, oh, this is a great atmosphere, a great backdrop for my song. So I went with this. I don't really care for overbearing. It's not a very good song in my opinion, but I think it's I think where it is okay. It's better than some of the other ones. Yeah. So that was February. Then March was position, and as I said, it was like when I was in a certain position, but this was when things really got worse. So after this point, I was in a dire state, as I said, and I think that leads us on to Gone. Now, Gone, like, you can't really tell by the thumbnail, but this was a song about a certain aspect of things, a certain way of doing things, a really serious matter, which obviously I'm not going to say, but you can probably guess what it's about. And I heavily relied on Samaritans around this time to keep me going. I was in a horrible state. I genuinely can't thank Samaritans enough for pulling me through this, but it was awful, and I was really depressed, and Gone is evident of that. I was at the bottom of the bottom, and if you thought I couldn't get any lower, like, oh, the rest of the year just kept digging me further down into the ground. But yeah, Gone is number one, because I lay everything out. I laid it bare, and I think the message is great, because I've obviously lost somebody to what this song's about, and I felt that a lot of people didn't realise what they had until it was gone. So it's like, I'm not saying that once I go, like, oh, everybody's going to miss me, or I'm going to leave a massive void, a massive hole in a lot of people's lives. Like, I'm not necessarily bigging myself up in that way, but it's the same with anybody. It's like, take Robin Williams, for instance. Everybody loved him when he was alive, and they thought, oh, he's a really happy guy, but below it, they didn't really realise, beneath it even, they didn't realise just how unhappy he was. So I suggest that you check in with your friends. I suggest check in with family and all that sorts, because you just don't know what's going on with some people, and in a lot of cases it can be too late for some, and by that point you don't realise what you've got until it's gone. So why do you have to wait till I was gone to miss me, to you know what I mean? And again, I'm speaking from experience, about my own experience with certain aspects in that, but yep, that's the case of it. So that was January, February, March. April, May. What did I make in May? May was May sandwiches. May was either sandwiches or done. It was one of these two. I think it might have been sandwiches. So Sandwiches is a long-running song on my channel. I can't even remember when the first one came out, like 2014 or something, or 16. I know those are two very different dates, but whatever. So this was an attempt to make a good remake. However, compared to my other remakes, like of Driving to the Bar and Fruit and Veg, I don't think Sandwiches is particularly good. I don't think it's horrendous, but it isn't good. Like, I wouldn't... And even my thumbnail, like, I tried very hard to make it look like a sandwich, but it looks dreadful. I definitely feel at some point in the far future I'm going to change this thumbnail because it makes me sick. Like, it genuinely makes me sick how bad it is. But yeah, it's down the bottom. It's not revolutionary. It's not good. It's not brilliant. It's doable. It's fine. It's whatever. But yeah, compared to the rest of the songs this year, I just feel it's not the best. And that leads us on to Done, which is also in a similar sort of thing. Now, looking at this, you'll probably think, oh wow, it's a very colourful, bright, fun, upbeat, cool song. However, it's not really. So this is on the same bridge as Gone and on the same bridge as Position, stuff like that, or Overbearing. It's just me again feeling guilty, feeling sad, feeling depressed, feeling upset, because it's like, what have I done? Have I spoiled all the fun? Messed up with everyone? And it still feels like that is the case, but it's like, all I've ever been is myself, all I've ever done is be kind, and I've been treated like dirt because of it. But yes, so Done was again like not again, but was like a self-loathing thing. Like, I what have I done? I hate what I've done. I hate how I've behaved, or I hate how I've acted. So what have I done? Spoiled all the fun, etc. I don't really care for this song as much. I actually would put it above Sandwiches, but obviously the image shows otherwise. But I would put it above Sandwiches. It's fine, it's listenable, but it's not the best. And that leads us on to, is it June now? I think it's June. Have I messed up? January, February, March, April, May, June. No, it's July now. July. July is, I think it's, is it Memory? I think it's Memory. This is somewhat similar to Don't Want to Be, I think, but Memory, and this kind of falls into the same thing as Gone, where it's like, I feel like I'm becoming a memory in a lot of people's lives, or I definitely am a memory now, there's no doubt about that, but I'm like, instead of being of worth, instead of being the one person that people care about, or the one person that people turn to, or the person that people can rely on, or care, or do things, or etc., it now just feels like I'm a memory. And this will be the case with a lot of other people, where at one point you felt like you were the most important person in the world, and then it turns, and everybody turns against you, and you become a memory. And it's just like, it's toxic, it's sick. So yeah, Memory is about becoming a memory, like being forgotten about, drifting into the past, or etc. Yeah, so it's in B because I just feel it's mediocre, it's fine for what it is. Moving on from that, we move on to, it might be Taking Out Pigeons, or is it Bridge? I'm going to say it's Taking Out Pigeons. Now, compared to everything else, this is the happiest song of the year, which is quite ironic because it's about extinguishing pigeons. But this is also it's also a very long song. Like, well, it's not, it's just about 5 minutes, but I repeated the song in the video because the video is a GTA 4 video of me doing the trophy where you take out all the pigeons. Now, I previously did another trophy of this on the Ballad of Gay Tony, where you had to remove all the seagulls, and I referenced that in the song, and I'm just relatively quite happy with the song. Even the thumbnail, like, I really like this. I had a lot more fun with this one compared to the Killing Seagulls song. But yeah, Taking Out the Pigeons, I just feel like everything fell into place, and it just was a fun song. And compared to everything else I went through this year, like, that was quite a nice change. But then we go on from that and we go to the darkest song of the year, which is Bridge. And similar to Gone, it speaks for itself about what it's about. I mean, you can probably even tell by the thumbnail. But I made this song when I was feeling exceptionally low, and I again go back to Gone, where it's like you don't realise what you've got until you're gone. So this was same sort of thing where I'm sat in a situation and I feel like a couple of people could make things better if they would just give me a call, if they would just talk to me. So I'm standing here on top of this bridge, wanting to jump and all other sorts. And I put an age restriction on this because of Farewell, how dark it is. And believe it or not, a song about me feeling extremely depressed, feeling extremely low, and just me expressing myself, getting my feelings out there. You'll never guess it got a dislike. Of course it did. Now, I don't know if that's somebody disliking what the subject matter is, or if they're genuinely disliking my life and how I live. But it does get to you. I'm trying not to think about it, but I think this is a recent dislike as well because of certain circumstances that happened. And as I said before, it's very, very petty. It's very, very sad. Now, I'm not saying that you should stop disliking my video. You have every right to dislike my video. You have every right to like my videos. I don't necessarily care. It's up to you. But it just is upsetting when it's literally a song all about you and talking about what you're going through and how you're feeling, and then you get a dislike. It's like, what have you got to dislike about this? Like, you don't like my life, then don't come to my channel. But I'm just being petty myself. I'm being stupid myself. But yeah, Bridge is a really, really dark song, and I wrote it around the time I was feeling absolutely dreadful. So is that July's song? November, December. So that was August. October's song is this is a struggle. Now, the song that has performed the worst this year, and I know exactly why it's performed the worst this year, so I don't want to get into too much detail about the song because it genuinely feels like if I start talking about this song, I am going to get ridiculed for it. I am going to get toxic words thrown my way and treated like absolute hell. Well, this song I wrote, and again, look, it's me in the thumbnail with an X through me. I am negative about myself. I am talking about how I have been treated in this song, which I have every right to do. And I do not list names of who did it. I do not list anybody. It could be a song about anybody. Like, I could literally pass somebody in the street, somebody I do not know, and then I could be like, I've written this song about it, where I'm like, why am I treated so badly? Because, like, somebody passed me in the street and they hurt me. It's a song that is made, like, passively or whatever else. Like, it is about people, but it's about, like, how I've been treated in general. It's horrible how I've been treated. Why am I treated so badly when all I've ever been is myself? That is the most truth ever. Well, some people obviously cannot handle the truth, and they took to disliking it. Now, compared to other dislikes, this is the most dislikes I've had in a while. 3 dislikes, and as I said before, I know exactly who it is that's doing this, and I know why they're doing it, and it's petty, and it's upsetting. And even me making this video and reacting to it, they're going to love that. They're going to be like, oh wow, he's reacting, that's exactly what he wanted to do. I shouldn't be thinking about that. Just take the song as it is, right? The song was about how badly I'd been treated, and it could go to anybody. It could be about anybody. And as I said before, I don't say names. I do not say names, because that is a nasty thing to do, which is just not me. I don't do that sort of thing. But yeah, so badly was a song that basically got disliked so badly. But yeah, the next song on from that is Don't Want to Be. So again, falling into like self-loathing, and I don't want to be treated like this. I don't want to be seen as the bad guy. like I said before, all I've ever been is myself, so why on earth am I now being treated like I'm a criminal? And even when I've spoken to people about what's happened, they're like, oh, we don't have it in for you, but we also do have it in for you. It's like people contradict themselves. Like, they say I'm not doing anything wrong, but then they say I'm making things very difficult. That doesn't make sense. Like, make up your mind. But yeah, so I don't want to be seen as bad guy. I don't want to be seen as the enemy, the villain, whatever. But that's constantly how I'm being portrayed, and it's just not fair. Especially when nobody talked to me. So instead, they just make me out to be a villain. Yeah. And moving on from that, is it our last song? Our last song, yeah. Last song, Nothing Something. So this again got a dislike, would you believe it? And I know exactly why, and I know exactly who, and I know exactly when, and all that sorts. But this song was not about the people that were disliking it. This was about something that happened last year, ages ago, and I'm in the mindset of, what's the point in holding on to this? Like, what's the point in hoping and praying that good things are going to happen, that good times are going to come back when they're definitely not. So basically I'm holding on to nothing like it's something. In my mind I'm thinking, oh, good things can be fixed, good things can happen, but they won't. So yeah, I'm holding on to nothing like it's something, praying for good to come, etc. But yeah, with that is the end of this list. A very, very hard year. I pray to God 2026 is nothing like this. But at the same time, because of it, I was able to make some relatively alright songs. I'm not saying make me feel like dirt. I'm not saying bring me down so I can make more music. But I am not the only person in the world that does this sort of thing. Like, look at Taylor Swift, look at Adele, look at Sam Smith even, or look at, who else? Anybody. The majority of artists out there make songs about their own experiences. Lewis Capaldi, I mean, like, people write songs to cope. People write songs to express themselves. People write songs to show how emotion, and to show that they care, and to show how they feel, and all other sorts. That is me. I'm not a massive musician. I do not get paid for my songs, but this is my way of coping. This is my interest. This is my talent, in a sense. But when I get treated like absolute dirt for it, it's really sad. But yeah, as I said before, that's the end. As I said before, whatever. But that is the end. I hope you enjoyed, and I really hope 2026 is going to be better. There are a couple of good things that have happened to me towards the end of this year, and hopefully those things are going to pass over into next year, and I'm just going to feel relief and feel happy, and possibly start good things happening. I mean, I did move into my new house, and my God, I love it. I actually got new blinds today, and it's just the more and more things I do to this house, the more I love it. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time on whatever I play, goodbye.